All right, hey, what's up, guys? Coach Mac, Play Fast Football. Today I'm going to do a quick video for you on how I've combined some tackling drills with some special teams drills that we do. I have been given the luxury privilege of coaching kickoff this year, so added to my defensive coordinator responsibilities. I'm doing some kickoff stuff, so I wanted to take old school special teams drills that we always do on kickoff coverage and combine them with some tackling principles, ideas that we use on defense to see if we could come up with some better game-like scenarios for some of our drills that we're doing. As always, check out our partners, GameStrat, sideline replay company we use. If you're looking for highly reliable, highly affordable, check out GameStrat. Dome hats, headwear company we use. Bishop Kenny, there's one of my custom dome hats. All right, I use them for Play Fast Football. Stock hats suck. Baker Sporting Goods, company that makes our shirts like this. We're in Nike gear this year, so our spirit packs, coaches gear, sideline gear, game night stuff. Everything you need, fans, coaches, players, check out Baker Sports, DifferenceUSA, the ultimate striking machine. If you want to strike violently, you got to practice striking violently. They attach into the racks or on the racks that you already have in your weight room currently, so they're the perfect piece of equipment to work on striking. Aren Consulting, which is a group that works with recruiting knowledge, teaching families about important NCAA dates, the NCAA timeline, how to build NCAA contacts, but the job that they're doing, to me, that's so impressive is they're keeping the head coach involved, right? So all too often you get some of these recruiting companies where people are going out and getting, money from kids to help get them recruited, and it's separate from the coach. The coach needs to be involved at some point. All colleges are going to come talk to the coach, so check out Aren Consulting. You can go to GETAREN.com. Check them out. A lot of great things going on. BrandTek, new company that we're working with. Picked them up in about the last 6 weeks or so. Saw them at the AFCA convention, doing a lot of great stuff. Swiss Army knife. They've got everything. They've got fundraising platforms. They've got disinfectant sprays for your weight room and your locker room to kind of help keep that staph infection away. They sell or distribute the Q collar. They've got just a bunch of different things they do. They did some custom sublimation for me on some 3/4 bullpen jackets, and then they did custom sneakers for me. So make sure you check out BrandTek USA, located in Wisconsin. And then FlyRouteDrones, started working with them a couple weeks ago. Great product. If you need certification, if you need your pilot's license, you can go to FlyRoute.com and use the promo code PlayFast. Get 20% off their drone certification, pilot license stuff. We use drones for all our practice stuff. We use them for our 7-on-7. I love the teaching angle. You won't get a better angle to teach on than a drone. If it's not possible to use them in games, and at least you can use them in practices, I highly recommend FlyRouteDrones. Sting8740@gmail.com. Any of the clinics I've done, send me an email. Somebody emailed me this morning about our 3-3 stack stuff that I've done, so I sent them our tight front stuff, our 3-3 stack webinar, blitz family, split field coverages, and then a bonus clinic from the Colgate DC that he did for me last year. So email me if you're interested in any of those clinics. I'll let you know how you can pick those up. So now that I'm doing kickoff coverage stuff, what I wanted to do is I wanted to take drills in the spring that we've done before, drills that work on kickoff coverage ideas, kickoff coverage principles, talking about the speed zone, talking about when we're going to avoid, talking about 8 or less button press, talking about guys that can go down the field like bullets and take a shot at a ball carrier when they're unblocked. And I wanted to combine them with some tackling ideas that we use within our defensive setting every day in our tackling drills, right? So I wanted to put drills together so that we could do more than one thing inside of each drill and we can get more accomplished. Anytime you're doing that, you're always going to have to work through some of the, roadblocks or hurdles, for argument's sake, because the spacing, the timing of a rabbit, are you using tackling rings? Are you using guys on a crash pad? How effective, all right, can you do certain drills? What does the space need to be between the rabbit or the guy holding the hand shield that's being tackled on a crash pad from the guy that is making the tackle? So I wanted to take the spring to work on all those things so that I could get a couple drills that I really like, coaches could understand them, and then we could iron out the timing, the distance, how far the rabbit is, how far the coverage guys are, where we are, so that when we go to the fall, we could roll through these drills to help us with kickoff coverage, right? So the first one that we do, I've talked about it before, you've seen it before, butt side avoid. So we've got 3 kickoff coverage guys that are running down the field, all right, and they're going to butt side avoid on stand-up players. So normally we use just 3 other bodies in there. Those bodies face the kickoff coverage guy, and the whistle blows as the kickoff coverage runs down. Those guys will turn one side or the other, and it makes the kickoff coverage guy in the speed zone. All right, we're working on butt side, avoid in the speed zone, right? So you're talking to your guys about, if this is the speed zone, we're trying to avoid contact. We don't want to be blocked here. We don't want contact here. But we're also trying to avoid butt side and then stack and get back on top, because if a guy is turning in a direction, that means he's probably trying to block me that way because the return is set up to run opposite of where he's trying to block me. So we talk about butt side avoid, speed zone, non-contact zone. We don't want hands on anybody. We want to avoid, and then we want to stack. All right, and then what we added to that was we added our two-man vice tackling, all right, and we added a fold player, okay, because in my opinion, when you get kickoff coverage and you get guys that are running down the field and the returner declares a direction, the guys on the backside of that at some point have to learn to become fold players. It's very similar to defensive football. If I'm playing outside linebacker on the left side and the ball is run to the right or inside to the right, or even inside in a front where there's no interior gaps, at some point I've got to learn how to become a vice fold cutback player. If I run up the field because I'm the force player on runs that aren't coming towards me, I just run myself out of the play. So for me, the one thing that I look at all the time is guys that run down the field on kickoff coverage, and as the kick returner declares the other way, they keep running in the same direction. Maybe they try to squeeze a little bit, but the returner is running away and up the field. So why would you want to keep running down the field away from the returner, right? So at some point there's got to be a fold element or some type of cutback element in our kickoff coverage. We always have contained guys that are 21 rule players, right? 21 players on the field have to stay inside you. But the other guys that we have in coverage, we should be building some type of coverage structure where we have bullets and guys that are trying to make a tackle, and then we've got a second level of guys that we're trying to net things up. You know, kickoff coverage can't be one wave. It can't be 11 continuous players. It needs to be almost like a defensive structure where there's a first level, a second level, and then a third level that's almost like your safety net, stop the home run, your kicker, and maybe one or two other guys, right? So what I try to do is I try to incorporate a drill where these guys were running down, and then whatever side they got the block, they were going to butt side avoid and stack, butt side avoid and stack, so we're working that principle. And then on the second whistle, the rabbit would simply choose, okay, so for the rabbit, we would put 3 cones, and we would tell the rabbit that he can choose in between either sets of cones, all right, to run the football between those cones. And what it then does is it puts us in a two-man vice with a fold player. So the middle guy is always going to be involved in the vice, all right? And then depending on the direction that the rabbit goes, if the rabbit comes towards me, I'm going to two-man vice to where if the rabbit was here, that two-man vice would be the middle player and this outside left player, learning how to two-man vice, get in a good position, keep your leverage, win with the shoulder pad, all right, towards the ball carrier, near foot, near shoulder, right? So with the ball working that way, this guy would be a right foot, right shoulder tackler. This would be a left foot, left shoulder tackler. But then what I tried to incorporate, and we had to change the timing and the speed because these guys are not all the same speed, was the guy that's away from the rabbit needs to start working a fold technique over the top back into where the return's going. Because if I keep running down the field with the rabbit choosing a direction away from me, at some point I'm going to be behind the play. Right? It's almost like being behind the quarterback, the worst spot on the field. A kickoff guy running full speed with a return that's going vertical and away from him that keeps running down the field doesn't do us a lot of good. So what we're trying to incorporate is speed zone, butt side avoid, okay? Butt side avoid, stack, two-man vice with a fold player. All right, and we got a couple good reps of that on film. Looked, until we got the timing right, the distance right, looked a little bit ugly early, but I knew we were going to have to work on those things. But I wanted it to be more than, we start this drill off with like 3 levels of butt side avoid, and, we get our kickoff coverage guys, and we're working on speed zone, we're working on running, so we put these guys, here, and there'd be a guy there, a blocker there, and we're running to butt side avoid, running to butt side avoid, and stack, butt side avoid, stack. we start with that drill all the time, but it gets kind of monotonous for the kids. So I wanted to tie another component into that drill, and why not tackling? Because if you're going to be on a kickoff coverage unit, at some point you got to tackle. So I took one of our two-man vice drills, and I threw it into the drill and said, hey, we got 3 guys going, butt side avoid, speed zone, stack, get on top, do all the things we need to do in the coverage part of it, but then let's turn it into a two-man vice and a fold, okay? Then we had another drill that we worked, all right, where we set a coach down here with 2 tackling rings. We would put a cone on each side, okay, and the coach had 2 tackle donuts, tackle rings, however you want to look at them, okay? And then what we did was we set up, all right, 2 outside defenders, okay, and 5 yards behind that we set up a bullet, okay? And what we did was on the first whistle, the bullet was full speed down the field, okay? On the second whistle, the coach rolls one of the tackling rings in a certain direction, okay? So the coach rolls the tackling ring in this direction. On the second whistle, all right, when that tackling ring gets rolled in a direction, the bullet needs to put his foot in the ground and be full speed through the tackling ring, and we worked 2 different, all right, components of it. We worked the front side of the tackling ring where we tried to near foot, near shoulder, shoot our hands through and scoop the tackle ring up to us. And then we worked the back side of the tackle ring as if we were in a poor leverage position with a chance to make a tackle, and we had to make some type of gator roll tackle, right? So we were at a disadvantaged position. It wasn't a profile tackle, all right? And we had to be behind the ring making some type of roll tackle, gator roll tackle, however you want to look at that terminology. So we did that 2 ways. But the thing with the bullet was we wanted to identify which of our kids could be running full speed, put a foot in the ground to change directions when the ball carrier changes, and who could sprint through this tackle ring. All right, a guy that has the quick twitch fibers, a guy that has the speed, the skills, the ability to tackle in space. Because a lot of times on kickoff coverage, the one guy that's down the field as a bullet unblocked, he gets in all these scenarios where he's got a chance to make a tackle, but it's not really a profile tackle. It's at a disadvantaged position where the ball carriers work in a certain way. So I tried to replicate all those scenarios of how that bullet, and we kind of stole this terminology from Coastal when we went there. We call it, all right, the way they called it, they said, hey, take a shot. So that bullet that's going down the field, all right, and props to Coastal Carolina and their coaching staff for allowing me to borrow that idea. That bullet that's going down the field, he's unblocked, kind of like the guy that's going down the first one on punt, and he's got a shot on the punt returner. We didn't want that to be a shimmy. We didn't want that to be a breakdown scenario. We wanted that to be a full-speed sprint. Take your shot, try and make that tackle, all right, and at least if you miss, that ball carrier's got to do something to slow down. So the first guy down, what we were doing is we were evaluating talent. Who can get down there when that ring goes? Who can put a foot in the ground and sprint through it? All right, but then what we also did with the second wave, all right, was those guys now had to create the 2-man vice off of the way the ring went to that cone. So now when that ring went that way, these guys on the second whistle, the ring comes out, we're now 2-man vicing, and we're working our 2-man vice theory, near foot, near shoulder, sprint shimmy onto the cone in the direction that the ring was going. So the coach can roll the ring any way he wants. The bullet on the first whistle is full speed, and then on the second whistle, when that ring gets rolled, whatever way it gets rolled, right? So if it got rolled the other way, the second level players have no idea where the ring's going to be. So the coach comes out and he rolls the tackle ring that way. That means my bullet's got to put a foot in the ground and sprint through to take a shot. All right, and I just start yelling, take a shot, right? Sprint through to take your shot. And now these guys, when the ring goes this way, this becomes, on the second whistle, they're running. The ring comes out, this becomes 2-man vice on that cone over there. All right, so again, incorporating 2-man vice, leverage tackles, near foot, near shoulder, sprint, shimmy, close distance, come to balance. But the first guy that's take a shot, we're not incorporating the sprint shimmy. We're not incorporating the come to balance. We're trying to get him to accelerate through a ball carrier. And we did it 2 ways on the tackle ring. Front side of the tackle ring, scoop, bring it up to me. Back side of the tackle ring, try and make a disadvantage, gator roll, some type of roll tackle, right? So what are we trying to do? Identify bullets, find the guys that should be our bullets on kickoff coverage that we want down the field trying to make plays. Identify guys that could be second level guys on kickoff that understood the theory, change in direction, where the ball's going, leverage tackles, right? So this would be like that first level. So the bullets would be like that first level of kickoff. And then those other guys would be like that second level after the bullets have made the ball do something different. Then we've got to have a second level of players, all right, that can net that thing up, get it on the ground, do all the things that we need to do, right? So kind of like defense, where you got first level, second level, and then a third level that's kind of an eraser, get them on the ground if those runs pop, if those things break, all right? So not really sure how I want to kick off this year. We can't get it to the end zone, so that's going to change a little bit. Not really sure how many bullets we want, how I want to handle the second wave, so I haven't even gotten into how we're going to cover kicks yet. I haven't even talked about the structure of kickoff coverage. What I'm talking about is the skill set of a bullet unblocked taking a shot, the skill set of a second wave vicing, the skill set of possibly having to fold, all right, behind a play when you're away from the play and you can't continue to run down the field blind because you're going to run behind it, right? So we're trying to incorporate all those skill sets into our drills, right? So the last one that we did was one that we always do, right? It's called button press, so 8 or less button press. All right, so we talked to our guys about, hey, 8 or less, button press, shock and shed, however you want to look at it. So now when we get down to where after the speed zone, after we're trying to avoid, after we're going 100 miles an hour, now we're inside of 8 yards where the ball carrier's 8 yards behind the blocker or 8 yards from me, all right? And now there's a blocker in front of me that I can't butt side avoid anymore. I'm too close to the ball carrier so that if I butt side avoid, I'm going to run myself out of the play. Now I got to take a block on. I got to shock and shed, button press. All right, I use button press just because it rhymes with 8 or less. Sometimes if at the JV level, we might go 10 or less depending on the skill set of our guys, right? So what we're doing is we're setting up guys. So what we did was we put a crash pad back here. All right, and we're kind of busy.
Open up.
How can I open up? I'm in the middle of a video.
Oh, you are?
Well, I guess I'm not anymore.
Breaking down film?
I guess I'm not in the middle of a video anymore.
Special delivery. A video call? Oh my.
It's not a video call. All right, the pleasure of YouTube live. Special delivery, Rydell from my guy, bringing it in, the best on the business, in the business, on the planet. Get out. He didn't break anything today. Hats off to him. So sorry for you guys. I'm in the equipment room. Sorry for that. We do it live. You know I don't edit anything. I'm not reshooting a video. Just got a Rydell delivery. Life of a high school football coach. Life of a high school custodian. That is one of the greatest guys. Loomis. Love him to death. All right, so I'm going to continue going. We got a crash pad here. We've got those dip and rise bags. I don't know if you've seen them. All right, we get ours from Rydell, but a lot of the tackling guys use them. I think maybe Richie Gray was one of the first ones, but the dip and rise where they're kind of folded, so you've got to get under the bag. So we'll have a guy holding that dip and rise bag here, and he's tight to the crash pad, okay? And then in front of him, what we'll do is in front of him here, we'll put, all right, a player that's holding a hand shield, all right? And then the guy that's on kickoff coverage starts off fitted on the hand shield, okay? On the whistle, he's going to bench press the hand shield out. On the second whistle, he's going to pull rip and get himself into a tackling near foot, near shoulder position on the dip and rise bag, tackle the player holding the dip and rise bag onto the crash pad. All right, this is probably 5 yards, all right, at the most. We don't want that huge contact on the dip and rise bag, but I watch these guys do it, a lot of the rugby guys, and they do drills without a dip and rise from like 8 yards away, and they make contact, no pads. So if they can do it, we certainly can do it. Put a crash pad behind it to make it a little bit more conducive to what we were doing, all right, to make it safe for the kids. The dip and rise bag that we are holding, right? So we go, all right, hand shield, fit it up on the hand shield. Now that we're fitted up, we bench press it, first whistle, second whistle, we destruct that block, all right, by whatever we're using. So maybe it's a pull rip into a near foot, near shoulder shimmy, finish through onto the crash pad. To get more reps, we put 2 more guys over here with 2 more hand shields in front of them. All right, so 2 more hand shields in front of them. All right, and then we put a rabbit that's here, and we put 2 cones down. Now these guys on the first whistle, all right, bench press, second whistle. Rabbit chooses one of the cones. The side that the rabbit chooses is the side that we are going to defeat the block to. So we pull rip, and then again we would go 2-man vice. Right, so we incorporate 2-man vice theories into a lot of the things we do, teaching leverage, teaching where to send the ball, teaching near foot, near shoulder, teaching our guys how to get tight, explaining to them and teaching them that if you near foot, near shoulder, the 2 of you can make physical contact because your helmets are on opposite sides of each other. Right, so we go one group or our older group might be working here, bench press, destruct, all right, get rid of a block, defeat a block, whatever terminology you want to use. All right, pull rip into a dip and rise, near foot, near shoulder, finish that tackle on the crash pad. These guys are working, all right, bench press, separate, pull rip, two-man vice. So trying to find ways to do all the drills that we do, all right, butt side avoid, speed zone, 8 or less, button press, take a shot with the bullets, trying to teach next level guys. Just trying to find ways to take drills that we always do, take drills that we do in coverage all the time, and add some tackling theories, components, philosophies, things that we're going to need in special teams, and also change the drills up a little bit, right? So change up how we're doing those drills, because normally if you do a coverage circuit, those guys rotate through the circuit. Eventually it gets kind of bland, it gets kind of monotonous. So when we add rabbits and tackling principles and things in there, it makes it a little bit better for our guys. It keeps the juice going a little bit more. They've got more things that they've got to focus on, more tasks at hand. It's got to be butt side stack, but then I've got a two-man bison fold, so I've got more thinking to do. Trying to add some energy, some juice, some liveliness to the drill, and trying to combine things that we're going to need. If you're covering kicks, you need to understand speed zone. You need to understand button press, excuse me. You need to understand who the bullets are. You need to understand who the next level is. You need to understand how you have a back level of guys with a kicker and one or two other guys that are going to, all right, be the safety valves or the guys that are trying to net that returner up if it breaks the first and second level. You need to talk to guys about being contained players. So just a couple different drills that we do. Nothing revolutionary. Everybody does these drills. Just trying to incorporate some different tackling components, and I'm trying to add more tackling components every time we do these drills. So those are a couple of ones we did in the spring. Hope they help you out. Hope they help you, identify guys on special teams, maybe add some juice or some energy to the drills that you're doing. Get more out of one drill than just a butt side avoid, right? So we did butt side avoid stack all the time. We would do that drill all the time. That's the only skill that you're getting out of that drill. Why not put another, all right, drill in there that encompasses two-man vice or whatever you may do, to where now you're butt side avoid and you're learning how to leverage a ball, two-man vice fold. So you're combining drills together so that they're getting multiple skill sets that they need to have to cover a kick. All right, we've got our spring game tomorrow. Sorry, I haven't been doing as many videos, but it's a busy time of year, 18 practices. Spring game tomorrow. Should be kicking out some videos soon. Hopefully we get some decent film clips and things that we can talk about, things that we did well, things that we did poorly. Appreciate you guys being here. If you're not a subscriber, please click that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so you know every time that we do a video that comes out or we jump on YouTube Live. Thumbs up, thumbs down. If you like the videos, don't like the videos, leave a comment. As always, every comment you leave. If you want to leave a comment about the middle of this video being a delivery in my equipment room, which is where I shoot the videos, which is why I told you guys last year, a couple of you guys contributed to the campaign I had going on. And I'm trying to, still in the process of trying to get the funds to build a YouTube studio at home in my house. Not there yet. Have some money put away that some subscribers gave to us last year when I told them that's what I was trying to do. So that's one of the reasons I would like a YouTube studio at home. I do these videos right now in an equipment room. Our custodian is delivering our stuff, has a job to do. He has to deliver the stuff here. Happened in the middle of the video, so if you want to leave a comment about that. I don't edit these videos. You know they're live. That's me. It's generic. It's what we do. It's Play Fast. Thanks to all you guys for what you do for us. Follow some of our partners, please, and our sponsors if you are in the football world and you need equipment or you need drones or you need sublimation or you need gear. If you're in the Jacksonville area, Baker Sports, Dome Hats, please follow our sponsors nationally. GameStrat, if you need replay. They follow and support Play Fast, and I wouldn't be able to do it without them. So appreciate everything you guys do. Remember, you won't play well until you play fast. See you next time.